Hello, this is a Christian physician. Hope you're doing well. This is a special video I'm making called 8 Reasons Not to Get the COVID Vaccine that are applicable to everyone, regardless of your beliefs. I decided to make this video because of my viewpoint with regards to this vaccine. I will make a different video where I talk about some basics about microbiology and viruses and that sort of thing. But this video will just assume some basic knowledge on your end, and so I'll just start. So, 8 reasons. Number 1, these vaccines are extremely rushed in their development and the studies are still ongoing. Usually, it takes several years for vaccines to be tested and approved. So why the rush? More than 100 vaccines are in various stages of development around the world. And per WebMD, but certain things can't be rushed, like how long it takes a person's immune system to respond to a vaccine or the wait to check for side effects. So the stages of development and testing for vaccines are many and are typically the exploratory stage, the preclinical stage, clinical development, which is a 3-phase process of testing in humans, which can stretch a total of 15 years or more, regulatory review and approval, manufacturing, and quality control. Unless this vaccine was already in the works over a decade ago, then this is not wise to take a vaccine that has been rushed in every single way, with a process that usually takes even a couple of decades overall to get developed these vaccines in the past. And even if this research was being done before, that should raise a huge red flag as to the intention experimentally and motive of the pharmaceuticals developing the vaccines. So, like I said, number 1, the vaccines are rushed. Number 2, the vaccines are being driven by profit and prestige, not your health. This is why there is a rush, because these companies that are developing the vaccines want government contracts for billions of dollars. In fact, it seems to be a sort of arms race to see who will get the vaccine first. When a vaccine from Russia is called Sputnik 5, it seems a little blatant that this is a type of modern biological Cold War, perhaps, this time involving all the countries of the world. 2 big companies, Moderna and Pfizer, have both obtained massive funding and profit from these vaccines through Operation Warp Speed funding, in exchange for a promise that the first 100 million doses of their respective vaccines will be delivered to the U.S. government. Moderna is, per ABC News article, enjoying a long-standing research collaboration with the NIH, the National Institutes of Health, accepting $955 million in funding from the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority. 2 other companies that received funding for clinical research were AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson, who had setbacks when their late-stage trials were paused over safety concerns, but those have resumed, by the way. Pfizer and BioNTech have set the initial price at $19.50 a dose, by the way, for the vaccine, which comes to $39 a patient, and that's because there's a 2-dose regimen, and it's $1.95 billion contract with the federal government as part of Operation Warp Speed in July. So big money is driving this race, in my opinion. And that's why a lot of things are also being overlooked by, the usual development process. It seems like they're rushing through all these stages. And to me, I don't think that's safe. Number 3, these are the first ever mRNA vaccines to be used on humans. The mechanism by which this injection works is by entering the cells, and by the mRNA entering the cells and altering the cell's machinery in what it makes, which is proteins. Previously, Vaccine components did not enter the cell. Instead, our cells developed immunity with exposure to the ingredients in the vaccine, oftentimes parts of the virus or disease-causing agent. This time, the messenger RNA, which is the novel component, goes inside the cells and delivers a program to the factories in our cells called ribosomes and provides a code for them to produce a viral protein. Why would you want your cells to make this? This is completely unnecessary, in my opinion, for a low mortality illness. And if you want me to go over the numbers, I will. This is also a completely new vaccine technology with unknown long-term side effects. And actually, I'll get into that in my next point, sorry. But let me go over the low mortality, which is my opinion. There have been 283,000 deaths in the United States reportedly from COVID-19 as the diagnosis. As far as we know, we don't know anything else about these patients. And then this is out of a total case number of 14.9 million, which is a 1.5% mortality. And then if you compare the total deaths out of the total population of the United States, out of which is 331 million, the mortality is 0.07%. That's low, okay? And I know that every single person counts. I do fully believe that, okay? I'm not downplaying a death. At the same time, why is this being treated differently than other viral illnesses that have comparable mortality? Why? So these vaccines are experimental by nature, especially since all the development has been rushed. So per Azra Belem, who is a senior director of pharmacy sourcing and program services at Vizient, they're using something called an mRNA technology, which is relatively new in vaccine development, even per his words. So that was my number 3 point, which is this is novel technology. Number 4, the long-term side effects are unknown, period. We don't know what these injections will do to our health in the long term. What is the consequence of injecting a cell-altering substance into our bodies? I have a clue in theory, especially if they're modeling this after technology already being used in our food. Similar technology is being used to create genetically modified organisms. Do you want to be a human GMO? I don't think so. I'll get into this in a different video. Number 5, mandatory vaccination is immoral. There's already talk of these injections being made mandatory by different organizations and companies in order to be employed or even in order to travel, which is inherently unconstitutional and also defies all rights an individual has to make about, choices. An individual has to make choices about their health and body. Companies and governments do not decide what we do with our health. Each individual does. Number 6, vaccines are preventative and you can still get the infection even after getting a vaccine. This is not a cure. And the battle isn't over after a vaccine is found. The push for vaccination is being confused with treatment. We need a proper treatment or cure that is available to the population, regardless of if there is a vaccine or not. Number 7, there is no liability for these companies in case there are harmful side effects due to the law. And I'm talking about either short-term or long-term side effects. There have been deaths in these trials, by the way, which usually would be conducted over a lot longer period of time. And instead they're jumping straight to, giving these out to the general population. According to the website policymed.com, the United States Supreme Court reached a decision recently, which this article was written in 2018, concluding that federal law protects vaccine makers from product liability lawsuits that are filed in state courts and seek damages for injuries or death attributed to a vaccine. In the 57-page opinion written by Justice Antonin Scalia, the Supreme Court explained that the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act of 1986 preempts all design defect claims against vaccine manufacturers brought by plaintiffs seeking compensation for injury or death caused by vaccine side effects. The court's 6-2 decision reasoned that a vaccine side effect could always have been avoidable by use of a different vaccine not containing the harmful element. The language of this thus suggests the design is not subject to question in a tort action. What the statute establishes as a complete defense must be unavoidability, given safe manufacture and warning with respect to the particular design. So basically, if something happens to you, good luck with that. If you get a bad side effect, worst case death, these companies have no liability over that. Number 8, our immune system has the defenses it needs to fight viruses. We need to optimize these defenses naturally and with good overall health. We need to strengthen our bodies with proper nutrition, exercise, and vitamin supplementation if needed. This is partly why other countries, in my opinion, are likely doing better than us as far as mortality, because they may have better health despite the better economic conditions here. The United States is a leader in chronic illnesses and obesity. We all need to get in better overall health and fitness. Oh, but wait, the gyms are closed, right? So those are my 8 reasons why I don't believe one should get the current COVID vaccines that are available. That is my opinion. And you're certainly open to whatever opinion that you want. And everyone has to make these decisions for themselves. I'm going to make a decision for myself. That's why I'm making this list, because I want others to know why I wouldn't actually take the vaccine myself. You know, it's funny because, you know, there's all these doctors out there promoting the vaccine. But I remember one article I read, and I think it was in the Jerusalem Post, when the doctor themselves was asked if they were going to take it. They basically said that they were going to wait to take it. So you're saying, oh, yeah, go take this vaccine to everybody else, but you wouldn't take it. So I wouldn't recommend something for someone else, especially my patients, that I wouldn't do for myself, period. You know, like, so that's why I'm making this video, because I wanted to educate, and hopefully this doesn't get taken down. But I think it's important to discuss this, and everyone has the right to their own opinion, no matter what your education level is. At the end of the day, this is your body, this is your health, and I don't believe anyone owns that. And, you know, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. You can choose to do very bad things for your health. You can keep smoking. You can, overeat. You can, do all sorts of things that are potentially harmful, but you can also do good things as well, right? So we have those choices for a reason. So make a wise decision, make an informed decision, think about it, read up. Everything's out there on the internet already. I'm going to make some more videos and get down to some more basic knowledge, like I said, because I think that's important to understand all this going on. Okay, well, God bless you and have a good one.